Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are indeed notified when new videos drop. And I've been watching Andor. Listen, I had to get a subscription to Disney Plus. I have a wife and I have daughters, and Disney has some kind of hypnotic hold over all the women in the Western world. Maybe in the world. I don't know. I mean, they just put out evil trash upon evil trash. So I had to get a subscription to Disney Plus. My home life being being that which it is, which is why they're so insanely powerful. And Disney Plus, they take that money and they use it not to make the things that made them great, right? Not to make movies or TV shows, things that uplifted the people watching it. No, what they're doing is they're making content, and that's what this is. More bloody content that's completely forgettable. It's they released 3 episodes yesterday, which is when I reviewed it. They're all about 40 minutes long each. Although I'm very happy when they had like a 2-minute recap and like a 4-minute titles. That means there's less of the dross I had to watch, right? But so you had about 2 hours worth of material. There was 40 minutes, maybe, worth of material on screen, spread out over 2 hours. Boring as hell, right? Absolutely boring. Was it particularly obnoxiously woke? Now, by woke, what do I mean? I define it as in entertainment anyway, the platforming of ideology on an existent, successful franchise, fan-based franchise. That sort of thing. That's how I would describe it being woke. An example of it would be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, where you had, I can't remember the name of the actress, a short actress, India Pampa Bear. I don't bloody know what her name is. Okay, and she takes out these Imperial stormtroopers by literally going, it's the stupidest thing I ever see. But the idea is they want to show that women and men are exactly the same, but it was so stupid it made it very prominent. So so this does have the weird Disney gender theory in it. We have either a primitive planet, or it's survivors from a crash, or survivors from something. These kids who don't know anything about technology, which is where Cassian Andor comes from. And when they go out on a hunting party, it's complete mixture of men and women. No, when you're hunting with spears, when you're in a primitive environment, that's when you conform to gender normalcy, right? That's when you protect the women back at the camp because they have babies, right? And without having babies, you will die. Your tribe will die. And the men are the hunter-gatherers. Also, men are bigger and stronger. And I know Disney hates hearing that physical reality, that men indeed are physically stronger. But if you're setting this in a primitive environment, if you don't acknowledge that, you get this. You get something that's stupid. But it's not actually that prominent in this, right? It really is. It's too boring to get annoyed about it, and that's really the bottom line. It is just boring. How this got made, I have no idea. Looks gorgeous, right? Looks gorgeous. Well cast as well. I like most of the actors. They've got that very good, very authentic Star Wars feeling. Like everybody's English. But for my money, this is they want to do like a street level Star Wars show. And this is too street. This is boring street. This is like high street. This is this is about the working and living and not fighting, big big Jedi monsters or anything. It's just boring, right? It's just boring. 3 episodes. Which I would have much rather been watching Westworld. I'm doing a rewatch of Westworld right now. I'm up to the season 2 finale, which isn't woke, by the way. I remember it being woke, right? I remember it being woke as hell. It was not. It's really good, right? It's really genuinely good. I can't wait to watch the season finale. I can't wait to never see this again. I'm going to carry on covering it because it's fodder for the channel. It depends how many views this video gets, basically. But I probably will continue covering it. That She-Hulk, again, just their content they put for their streaming service is just bollocks, right? Absolute bollocks. It's like they know who their market is. My wife and daughter, right? This is just, I don't know, they're putting out content for them. Yeah, everything they do is very feminized. So it's basically for them. If it's a Marvel show, if it's a Star Wars show, if it's Grey's Anatomy or whatever bullshit they're watching, everything's a girl show, right? Because that's their market. Why? Because that's the only people they need to capture. Why? Because I'm buying that Disney Plus. Because to keep my wife happy, okay? That's why. That's why they control the world. These complete evil, and that's why they felt completely happy to destroy all the all their franchises, because the women are still going to want it no matter what, right? No matter what. So before we get into this, like, share, and subscribe. That'd be very, very nice. Thank you very much. I'm appreciative for everybody doing that. I'm not appreciative for Disney Plus for making this. It's just boring, okay? It's just boring. More than anything else, it's just boring. And what a waste, right? I love Stellan Skarsgård, that's his name, who plays one of the main characters. He's interesting. Andor's quite interesting, but man, again, boring. But boring. That's how I would describe it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very, very good. Sign up my Substack. It's in my email newsletter. Link is in the video notes. First link you come to. It's that's where you'll find me if I'm ever banned from YouTube. When I'm banned from YouTube. And you'll be able to keep up with me. And I also have a paid one, which I'm planning on giving out more content to, which I always say, and I very rarely deliver on. But I'm going to do that one of these days. That's going to happen. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very, very good. Fine. Let me hand over to me for my live stream last night when we went over the... Just, again, wasn't obnoxious, just turgid boredom. That is Andor. Star Wars, oh, wonderful Star Wars. Okay, so it starts off with saying that is a problem, but this is much more of a generic problem. I hate the cutesy, wootsy, kiddie, widdy droids and stuff, like going over them with big eyes and kiddie, widdy, cutesy, wootsy Star Wars logo shit, right? I hate Star Wars being on one fucking line. Oh! Disney Star Wars is dumb, right? Disney Star Wars is dumb and boring. Andor, however, is just boring. It's genuinely very, very, very dull, right? I really can't quite explain how. I can quite explain. That's essentially what we're doing here right now. Yeah, so let me get the second episode open up. So we are all ready to go. Hang on. Thinking about it. Makes me do it twice sometimes. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Fine, you go over there. Fine, Andor. Starts off very promising, right? Really starts off like, oh, this isn't bad, right? This isn't bad. So rainy, it's very Cold War feeling, right? So at first I feel we're going to have sound like The Third Man, some wartime thriller. I thought, wartime spy thriller. That's really the vibe you get. So he's in this I don't know, place, which is rainy, and there's it's like a red light district, right? All these are prostitutes, and he goes into this club, and he's got to get searched. The club again. All this is good. I'm feeling very in world Star Wars right now. I'm very, very optimistic. She gives him a drink, and he got these two other guys at the bar. Hey, how you doing? Anyway, so this woman with a flat hair goes up to the ear and says, "Hi, we can, maybe we can have a go for you." Blah, blah. Meanwhile, the guy at the bar, this guy is like, "Ray, we were here first. We want to be seen now. Look, we're evil white men." And she's like, "You be quiet. We'll send you somebody." So he's looking for a girl from Kesserin or something. I can't remember. And she's like, "Well, that's weird. Are you like a husband or boyfriend?" And he's like, and he's like, "Fine." She goes off to check, right? And she comes back and she says, "Look, yeah, there was somebody here. It was like they left a few months ago, and he's just like, who is it? Who are you looking for? It's like, it's my sister, right? So it's no idea what it is. So it's dead end. He heads out, right? As he's going, those two guys, they are security from the local security firm. See, this is why this is so shit. Okay, this is too under the radar, right? This is really. Again, we're in right now. I don't know whether we're in total shitsville, right? But it's so under the radar. They're not even stormtroopers. They're not even like Cloud City. They're just like nondescript muscle. And I know that's the point. I understand that's why. It's just not very interesting. It's like mall cops. These are very low-level people, right? So he gets pulled over and said, "Hi, you got a fine. We're going to have to take you in. You shouldn't be there." He's like, "Listen, I got 300 credits in my pocket. Just take it. I don't want any trouble." Right? So he does that. But a fight breaks out. They scuffle. Gun goes off. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, 555. Pew, pew, pew. Right, and he gets the gun, but accidentally, one of them's dead, and he's like, "Look, listen. We'll say it's an accident. We'll say it's okay. I'll come in with you. I'm on your side. I promise I won't say anything. Come on. It's like I'll be good." And then he's like, "I don't care." Shoots him in the face. Right, shoots him in the face. He's like, "Well, man, that's going to be crazy." And he runs off, right? Runs off and gets to his ship, flies away. Whoosh, off he goes. And now we're back on his planet. And again, this is all, it's just kind of unrecognizable. It's not woke, at least, sort of. So, yeah, we're in Ferrix, the Morlani system, a free trade sector. And you got this like beat up droid, and these like giant pig dog things, and they stop and they pee on him, and then the droid goes to this crash ship or landed ship or some kind of ship. Okay, goes to the ship. Again, not bad design at all, right? And inside this is where Andor lives. And he remembers back to being a little boy. So I don't know what the deal is here, right? He's either a native, I think more likely there are like survivors from a crash ship or something. They're kids survivors on a crash ship, or they're survivors from like this base. But anyway, they're primitive, and they don't, their language they don't have subtitles for it, right? And there's overhead a starship crashes. He goes, "Whoa!" Crash, boom, right? And they big deal, right? Meanwhile, he talks to the droid, says, "Just don't tell Mom anything, all right? Let's keep everything quiet." And again, this is a long conversation with the droid, and everything's long. Nothing about this is zippy, right? It's all like long character moments, and just too many of them, right? So he goes and he hears somebody was looking for him last night. His friend was looking for him. So he goes and checks in with him. They got a job where they all hang up their gloves or something. So yeah, you have all these details. I don't give a shit, right? But at this point, I wasn't that irritated yet, right? So he sees his friend and he says, "Yeah, I came to see you last night." Says, "Okay, fine. Look, I need an alibi. I ended up, I got drunk and I ended up falling asleep at your, in your apartment, right?" And he's like, "Fine, okay, I'll give you the alibi." And he adds on to it, right? It's like, "Well, what are you into?" I said, "Bad things." Meanwhile, this is just weird, right? This is just weird. So the Star Wars version of Arnold Rimmer, I mean, this is so who he is. White man, white male patriarchy, bad, right? So he's investigating the murder of those two officers, right? And he's like, yeah, he's done all this work. He's like, yeah, and he's obsessed. Two of our men were killed. And the officer in charge is like, look, yeah, this is what happened. They're in a brothel that they shouldn't be able to afford, drinking stuff that they shouldn't be able to drink. It is an Arnold Rimmer ripoff, isn't it? Yeah. Drinking stuff that you they shouldn't be able to afford. They get into a fight with somebody, they get in the fight with the wrong person, they end up getting killed. They were stupid, it's their fault. This is what you're going to do. You're just going to make it look like an accident, and we're going to get our crime stats going to be better because I got to go and meet with the Empire, right? He's like, and he is, yeah, he's an Arnold Rimmer ripoff. Main question about Andor says got answers why. Why would anybody who hasn't seen Rogue One even have interest in the character? Exactly. No, here's the thing. Rogue One was their only success. Really, Rogue One and Mandalorian have been their only successes. And people go, oh, Rogue One, yeah, I'll check this out. So he's like, oh no, you want me to drop it? You want me to lie? He's like, yeah, so I got to go and meet with the Federation, the Empire. He's stuck on these weird rent-a-cops. He's like, oh, the corruption is very bad. He said, and while I'm gone, don't put your feet at my desk. So we get introduced to the first stunning girl boss now. Andor goes and meets this person, and it's a stunning girl boss, right? So he's got this really, I fucking know, this MacGuffin that's really, really valuable, and he needs to sell it because he owes everybody money, everybody hates him, and he needs to get off planet because he's being chased down, right? For killing these two people, right? So she's like, okay, I'll send word to my contact. So, well, how long have you had this? It's going to be worth a fortune. So I've been holding on to it for when I need it. So this guy is a big Scottish boyfriend. And he doesn't like Andor. Anyway, so he's like, you're just trouble, right? He's like, leaves. Meanwhile, flashing back to when they were kids living in. I don't know. Is this a primitive? Is this a crash ship? What something that is to again? This is Disney gender theory through and through. They live in a primitive society where men and women are completely equal. Excuse me. You take away technology, gender norms conform to everything, right? Women are physically weaker. Men are the hunter-gatherers. Women's you keep your women in your camp protected because they have babies and continue your camp, right? So they got this, like, I don't know, they find these this makeup supplies. And he goes to put someone, says, no, you're not a hunter. And the stunning and brave woman in charge says, yes, you can be a hunter too now. You're old enough to come hunting with us, right? When we go check the ship. He's like, okay. Then he puts on his war makeup, and he's very stunning and brave. Meanwhile, he's a bit pissed off, right? So he's goes to this room. And he's still looking for the ship. And he finds this anomaly. He says, oh, must be that ship then. Okay, so I want you to filter out where that ship is, right? Like, we have to find it. The people have died. And he's like so obsessed about these two people who got killed for some reason. Okay, whatever. But he's just an annoying pain in the ass, right? So he said, yeah, okay, so we got to filter that out. So it's going to take all night. He's like, well, if you're not up for it, maybe I'll just promote somebody else. I'm evil and I have authority. Okay. Meanwhile, Andor owes this guy money, and he talks his way out of it. The guy gets this big alien stand next to him to look intimidating. But again, Andor just like talks his way out of it. And we have a little character moment. She goes to send a message, right? And so he goes to try and follow her because he's a bit of a dick and he's not a trusting boyfriend. He's bad boyfriend. So he says, yeah, you just go through there and you can send the message. Again, there's all this fucking detail for nothing. Okay, I don't need to see all this. All this is about sending a message because he wants to sell something. Fucking hell! 40 minutes later, she's making a phone call. That's what it is. Okay, making a phone call. Meanwhile, everybody thinks this guy's the arsehole of the world, right? Just arsehole on arsehole. And you say, well, okay, what do you want? So let's put out an APB. We're looking for somebody. They said at the brothel that he was looking for a girl, possibly from Kesserin or somewhere. So they said, fine. So we'll put out a thing saying, we demand information about any Kesserin male, right? And he's like, okay, fine. So meanwhile, there's this like ship pool, and he got somebody to lend him a ship or something. And I was so bored at this point, I wasn't even freaking listening. He's doing something to it, it's changing something. So it must be, I think he's changed like the transponder so they couldn't follow him or something. Or maybe I'm just being too fucking clever for this piece of shit idiot show. Right, and he's like, "Yeah, look, I want to leave it even better than how I found it." Right, I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, and he's like, Anyway, so then there's customers. I think they look. I think you rent these to sleep in, right, or something like that, right? And he says, "Yeah, just don't come back in. Okay, we're done. We're done. Okay." Flashes back to being a kid again, and they're off to go to hunt the crashed spaceship. Off they go, and his sister says, "No, don't go. It'll be bad. Don't go." He said, "I gotta go. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy, and I need to go and find this. Go and check the spaceship. Because I want to be a big boy, right?" And have you noticed how really nothing has happened that anybody could possibly care about? Right? Yeah, exactly. Nothing. And then he sees his sister. Dun dun dun. Plot point. Okay. And 40 minutes with nothing, right? Nothing. And like it was okay. Yeah, we had a little bit of stuff at the beginning, kind of interesting. Pew pew pew. Okay, this is kind of cool. But like, I mean, it's essentially it's written by and for chicks, I guess. It's for soccer wine mums who get off on Hispanic men. That seems to be what it is, right? That seems to be the who is it? Is Kathleen Kennedy making more shit for herself, right? That's what it is. So she flicks herself off to Diego Luna. And she's stunning and brave, right? That's basically the idea. Fine. So now we're on to Turgid episode number 2. And the pace doesn't get any better. So we got the annoying Disney opening. Oh, I hate it. I hate every second of it. It's awful, right? Oh, Disney Star Wars is dumb. Hang on 1 second. I'm closing this. Come on, you can do it. Right, this is why I started using the slides, because it's oh, there you go, it's better. Fine. Yeah, if this still keeps freezing up, I'll have to say. Anyway, fine. Andor, episode 2. They going hunting for the spaceship, okay? And you see he's little because other people go over the log, no problem, but he has to climb over the log. Okay. And again, I guess I think they're survivors from a crash ship or something. I generally, but all I know is they're incredibly gender neutral, right? There is no gender norm in their tribe because they're stunning and brave. And there's a mine there or something. There's a deserted mine there, so maybe they're like survivors from that. The kids that are left there. Meanwhile, more boring shit, right? So they start the day. This guy takes 2 hammers and he bangs loudly, and waking people up with his loud banging. And it goes again. Another pointless. This is so lazy. Again, that was just 1 episode. Oh yes, yeah. We got 3 of this piece of the shit, right? And it's 40 minutes of TV spread over 2 hours. Awful. So they're on the planet where they're like a junker planet, and he's going to check on the MacGuffin he's selling. Again, I have no idea what it is. I don't really care, right? I don't really care. I get his friend starts work. This guy owes money to girl boss. So the girl boss has some tension with her boyfriend. She's like, just leave me alone, okay? Like he doesn't want anything to do with Andor. Andor's just bad news, and also clearly much better looking than him. Also Latino, so it's he's not a big fan. It looks like he might be better in bed. So then, he says a message comes in. It says free more authority. Yeah, that free more authority. That's the it's like this private security firm, and they're shit, right? It's just so annoyingly shit. This is so under the radar of Star Wars. This is below surface level, right? So Primo authority seeking Karney. That's it. Karney male resident of Ferrex for questioning. Oh, they know this is the ship came back there. Citizens with any information, please contact Preox Millennia Security HQ without delay, right? So they're looking for Karney, right? So that's the planet they were on, that he's from. So she goes, oh yeah, so now we meet actually an interesting character. We're going to find out is actually his mother, who he treats reasonably badly, I think, right? With his sort of adopted mother, and as we find out, and the droid is old, and they're basically this is where she's growing old and dying. That's her plan. And this backwater planet, and he's like, I might be in trouble. Meanwhile, he goes to check out about the thing. He says, yeah, the guy's coming, right? He wants this MacGuffin thing you're selling. He's actually coming here for it, right? He's like, yay, okay. Meanwhile, the boyfriend's watching. He's like, oh, I don't like this. So he goes and reports him to Primo security about says, you want to find this guy catching Andor, right? And so they have a lead. Yay, we have a picture at last, right? Now we're gonna get him again. His boss told him to drop this and forget about it, and he's like made this into a major security event, right? So that night she turns up at her boyfriend's place, and they sleep with each other. Good for them. Again, nothing's happening. It's like this is stuff they write about in the novelization to make it thicker, right? I'm just yawning listening. It's so yes, nothing's happening. Look, we're going to build a Star Wars stuff. Now we're gonna make it about officious white men, right? So he calls the security guy, and he's like nuts. He's like, again, these are all Trump supporters in the head. These are MAGA, right? Let's be clear. Fat, sweaty men, right? They hate fat, sweaty men. And they're like, yeah, we can't let this go. They killed 2 of our men. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, we have no choice. Yes, we're going to go there. We'll do extraction, right? So meanwhile, he goes to the ship, and he pulls out his MacGuffin box emperor thing. It's some like imperial translator. It doesn't fucking matter. Whatever it is, it's just a thing, okay? And he has a gun there too. Flashes back again to young Andor Cassian, and they get to the ship, and of course the girl goes because she's stunning and brave, right? She's a stunning and brave leader. The girl boss, and goes there. Meanwhile, she investigates. In comes a good actor, right? And an interesting character. Stellan Skarsgård flies into this. Oh, Skeleton, mate. If only you knew how shit this was going to be, right? And off he gets. He's got to go over there, right? So he's taking a shuttle in. It's morning again. Let's have the wake up bells because, God, this is so boring. right? And he wakes up and he's like, oh, I might have done the wrong thing. I don't know. I better keep quiet about it. So anyway, the guy's coming to meet them, and he's given a communicator to the droid for some reason. Again, I don't even know. I mean, what's really annoying is you don't find out until next episode how they're all connected. And if you knew how they're all connected, that actually would have made the drama a lot better. But things you don't know anything about anyone, right? And so in hindsight, you go, "Oh, that's quite clever. If only I knew about it at the time." So Andor's missing, and she looks around his place. He's got a toy bantha and that his like blow dart stick thing, right? And so there's a dead pilot there, another dead person there, and she goes to check it, and they're dead and they're yellow. But another one wakes up, all right, and like starts firing at her, and they all fire back in with their darts, right? And eventually he passes out, right? Do I have any pictures of that? No, I don't. But she's dead. She's shot. They're like, oh no. So this is what? He's about 10. He's about 30. This is like 20 years earlier, right? 15, let's say. So he goes to he's passing by, and he hears people talk about Canary, like his planet, right? It's like, yeah, they're from Canary. You ever heard of Canary? No, never heard it. Like they say, he says it's from Fest, right? Yeah, apparently it's a mining planet. The Empire abandoned it. Meanwhile, the rent-a-cops show up, and he's giving like this like insane speech. And again, who gives a shit about? Again, but it's a MAGA country, right? This is how they're looking at it. It's evil MAGA people. And he has to give a rousing speech, which is very bad at. And he makes them all. Captain makes the sergeant makes everybody clap. So they're like, oh, there's black people at MAGA places. Toxic men can be toxic at lots of places. So now more boring shit, right? More boring character shit. He's on a bus, right? Skeleton Skarsgård's on a bus now, right? And what's name starts talking to him. Played Parker in the Thunderbirds movie. Was in the Idiot's Lantern. I like this actor, but just a long, boring conversation. Another long, boring conversation on a fucking bus in fucking Star Wars. God, this is boring. He's collected this thing, and now he's off to meet his contact. And we got another 40 minutes, right? 40 minutes of absolute nothing. Okay. How? Just I'm like, how? It's like, it's beyond me. How did anybody in a business go, yes? I mean, they had to put out 3 episodes. So they reached a plot point. And I'm not, that's the reason. So they could get to a plot point. Oh, I would so much rather be watching Westworld than this. Right, I really would. Thankfully, we're at the 3rd episode. The shit Lucasfilm, shit Star Wars title, shit's Andor. It's all shit. So when it was young, they go to the ship. You see, it's a bit older in design. It's got that like early 70s sci-fi, that like 2001 aesthetic. So in he goes. He's looking around. He's got everybody's dead and yellow for some reason. Right, dead and yellow. The door opens up, and he's in some kind of control room. He's looking around, and he sees his reflection, right? And he touches himself, and he doesn't like it. He gets very mad, right? Meanwhile, on the Junker planet, they're cutting up, and it's actually quite a bad scene. They're like cutting up Star Cruisers, like, for scrap. Okay, that's all. Again, if this was in a 42-minute episode, it would have been fine. There's so much shit they could cut out. So he's saying, listen, I'm going to leave some money for you. I'm sorry, I got to snip down. Meanwhile, the guy's bus arrives. Oh my God. So his bus arrived. Yay. And out they get, and he's like, bye, I was appointed as character. Right. And so she says, oh, I got your guy ready. Come over here. Meanwhile, these three shit landing craft head down, looking for Cass and Andor. Meanwhile, the droid squeaks along, and you get to see the droid when it's young and it's working nice. So basically, this woman and this guy, I don't know who this guy is. I looked on IMDb, right, and it didn't have his who it was. So let me have a look at the cast over here. Gary Beadle's in it. Alex Fern, Fiona Shaw is his adopted mother. So so she's very good. Do they have his father there? No. But she's I'm scanning through this cast. I don't know. Could be. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay. So anyway, so they find him as he's smashing up. So then, okay, it all fits together. Now he's been with her for like 30 years, and it's his adopted mother. It's their first meeting, right? And he's smashing everything up. Said, look, I can't leave him here. So they sedate him. Is it Sean Parks? I don't know. I recognize him, right? Meanwhile, the crazy Rimmer guy is in the drop craft. They out they come. Fat MAGA people, attack, MAGA attack. Because again, they're all crazy. And they're like, oh, that doesn't look good. Meanwhile, he's getting ready for his meeting and flashes back to her rescuing him. And so basically find out that he just kind of retired there, right? So the security comes, they're looking for him, and she's like, I don't know. He's like, just let us know where he is. And then the droid, they're going to pull its power back, so you can't do that. And he starts talking to his communicator, and the communicator blurts out, so they know where he is now, right? They trace him through that. And again, who are these rent-a-cops? I mean, I don't give a shit about any of these people. I like Fiona Shaw because she's a good actress, right? Well, I do not give a shit about any of these people. And this guy is just, I don't get it. Like, why do you have this weird guy with no motivation as your main character? It's like, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. So that now they know they're heading for him and they're keeping a guard there. They meet up. All right, and they have they spar a bit. Meanwhile, as the guards head there, everybody like starts to like bagging things because as a warner they're under attack by bad people. So they talk about like having the thing and where he got it from, and he's sizing him up. And she's found out that what's his name dobbed him in, gave the information, so she's pissed off with him, and you're like, oh, you son of a bitch. So that's the thing. Is it from the ship that he was rescued in? I don't know, right? He wants to know where he found it from, and basically he's interviewing him to be, and you don't really realize this, to be a member of the resistance that doesn't really exist yet, right? And he's like, listen, I'll just take the component, but I want to take you too. It basically come join the revolution, right? And he's like, I know everything about you. I know about how your father was hung. So that must be whoever that guy was with Fiona Shaw, right? And he's recruiting to an underground, a revolution that's not going on yet. Renter villains are there. Again, they're all like bagging things, like saying it's their like little alert thing. And so they all start closing up. Meanwhile, they chained up his ship to the garbage. So they can't escape, right? And he's like, they're coming for us, right? We have to go right now. And he says, oh, look, you have the communicator. So he crushes it. Says, rule 1, never you have a communicator. Rule 2, always make sure you have, he puts some of these explosives, so know you have an exit on your way out. Right. So she's running to him, and the bad guys capture her. Right. And like, look, we're mean MAGA men. Ew, mean fat MAGA men. So don't engage yet. We're coming in. But they don't listen. Right. And so fine. They work out their escape route. And they go, oh, we finally get a little bit of action, right? So now we get a shootout. It goes on about 10 minutes, right? Finally, something happens like 2 hours later. And yeah, all these like big industrial things are like swinging around everywhere and blowing up, and it's all dangerous. And they lose the MacGuffin thing, but they fight back against the evil MAGA men. Right, and they end up taking a bunch of them out. I think that's essentially it, right? While they run to them, so they're looking for an escape route, and the the Scottish boyfriend of the girl boss comes and says, "Oh no, you've heard her. Why you do that?" And they shoot him, right? And they're just incompetent MAGA men, right? These are incompetent MAGA men. So you go back to the ship. We need to get out of here. Give me a gun. And she's like, oh no, he's dead. Well, he did it to himself. He's the one who dogged him in. Hi, I'm a fat incompetent MAGA man. We need to get out of here. We don't know what we're doing. So he goes over there and ends up being caught by Cash and Andor, I think, right? At some point. No, they make, oh yeah, no, he make it, yeah, it's just a clusterfuck, right? Essentially, it's a clusterfuck. They have no idea what they're doing. And now he's caught by Cash and Andor, right? He's like, no, you got me. Oh, bad. And I think this is the main protagonist throughout the show. Who gives a shit? I mean, like, insane rent-a-cop. He gets back to the ship, turns it on, takes off, but it's all chained up, right? So he's shit. He tries to take off, but he ends up smashing it and destroying it. And they're like, "Oh, we're really fucked. Okay, we're really fucked. We got to get out of here." And they find the bad guy all tied up over there. He's all mad. And they say, get in the speeder. They send the speeder out, and they start shooting at the speeder. Pew, 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 pew. And they blow it up. Oh, yeah, we got it. But that was just a decoy, right? Just a decoy. And it blows up, and they speed her out. It's like, oh, they beat us. No. Ooh, as they speed her off, right? And flashing back to them finally, leaving the planet, and she realizes that she's left him forever. He's left her forever. Well, they'll never see him again, and she's sad, and he's sad, and she's sad. And I'm sad because I put 2 hours of my life in this shit, right? And eventually, it's basically the first half hour of Star Wars, much more long and boring, right? He's finds his way off the planet. So we gotta go, sir. And they got a big expensive ship. Off they go, and he sees his planet leave. So the prostitute he's looking for at the beginning was his sister, who he last saw at the end of episode 1, right? Who knows? Who gives a shit, right? And as the sun shines in his face, he's rescued. At the same time, he's rescued, right? That's basically the same thing. Oh, God, that took a long time. That took a long time. Just go over the basics plot. It's just boring. None of the characters represent an ism or a phobe shield against criticism. Yeah, no, this was, I think, their attempt not to be woke, right? It's not written woke, right? It's just boring. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.